Yesterday afternoon, a series of 4 robberies occurred in the second district in a period of about 30 minutes. We recognized that there was a problem that we had to address immediately. Members of the Special Operations Division and officers from the second district and the sixth district all deployed to the area in an attempt to apprehend the individuals that were committing these crimes. We knew that a 2007 silver Toyota 4Runner was the suspect vehicle in not only in these crimes, but in armed robberies that occurred a few weeks prior as well. Shortly after deploying to the area, members of our Special Operations Division located this 2007 Toyota 4Runner near the border of the 2nd and 6th District. A brief car chase ensued, and we recovered the Toyota 4Runner, and we apprehended 4 individuals that were responsible for the 4 armed robberies which occurred yesterday afternoon, and 1 armed robbery that occurred at Henry Clay and Coliseum about a week prior. We also recovered 2 firearms. We recovered numerous items of stolen property and ski masks and gloves that were used in these crimes as well. After these arrests were made, we executed 4 search warrants on the residences of the perpetrators, and we discovered an additional 9mm handgun, a pellet rifle, a BB gun, and numerous other items, stolen items that were taken in various armed robberies and other crimes throughout the 2nd and the 6th District. We have active investigations going on right now. We believe that once we complete our investigation, we're going to determine that these individuals were responsible for about 8 to 12 other armed robberies in the 2nd District and maybe other crimes citywide as well. We say all the time how when our detectives get these cases, they work around the clock. But I can tell you now that our detectives have been working on these cases since yesterday, and they're still in this building behind me right now, working on these cases, and they're not going to stop until we're able to link all of these individuals to the crimes that we believe they committed.
Is there anything residents can do to protect themselves? I know this time of year, a lot of people are also, getting rid of all their big box electronics that they got over the holidays, putting them out in the market. That attracts, eyes that they just shouldn't be attracted to.
The biggest thing that our residents can do to protect themselves is to be vigilant when they're walking, especially when they park their car, when they walk into their residence, or they're walking on the streets of the city. They need to be vigilant. Everybody now has these smartphones, and they're playing the games on the phone, they're texting, they're talking, but especially at night, they need to be vigilant, they need to be aware of their surroundings. If they're driving their car and they're going to park in front of their residence, and they see anything at all that they think is suspicious, they need to call the police and keep driving.
The way the press release is written from the city, it says 2 suspects approached the victim, or one of them was getting in a car. Were all 4 involved in every single armed robbery, or were they sort of 2 were involved in one, 2 involved in another?
It was a mix and match, and again, we're sorting through all of that now, but they were kind of teaming up, and it was kind of like a mix and match with different cases.
And in the robberies,
The 4Runner itself was stolen in an automobile theft in the 2nd District. Right.
between all the cases, anyone injured?
No one was seriously injured. We did have some people that were injured. No one was seriously injured.
You know when the 4Runner was stolen?
I haven't read that. I can get through that.
The first one happened on December 22nd, you believe?
That's the first case that they were booked on. That was the one with Henry Clay and Coliseum. We have other cases going back all the way to the beginning of December. We think they're going to be involved in.
And I guess the next one that was reported that we know of was yesterday, January 4th. So there may have been some in between, or we're just not sure if they kind of took a break.
Well, we have to look at, we're dealing with a lot of information right now we're trying to process. And so we're going to go back and look at every armed robbery that occurred from December 1st on. But I can tell you that we believe that there are silent suspects in at least 8 to 12 other armed robberies that occurred in the 2nd District.
How critical was surveillance video in capturing these guys?
Well, surveillance video didn't lead to us actually making the apprehension, but in us continuing our investigation and learning of the 4Runner and getting the information that we needed, it was critical.
How many officers were actually involved last night in the pursuit and the apprehension?
Well, overall, from when the crimes were reported, dozens of police officers were involved in the overall incident.
These guys live in the area. It seemed like they were parking people in the Uptown area. Did they live close by?
3 lived in the immediate Uptown area, and 1 lived in the Warrington.
Does that surprise you?
No, not at all. Most of the time what we find is people do commit crimes within a short distance from their house.
The one on Henry Clay where they took the gun from the victim, is that one of the guns that you discovered?
Yes, it is. That's a great point you made. So we've recovered 2 guns from the scene. One gun that we recovered was the gun that was taken in that armed robbery in Henry Clay in Coliseum.
Right now, this time of year, are we looking at more activity when it comes to armed robberies, when it comes to, break-ins and that kind of stuff, or is this usual?
I mean, every time, when we get around the holiday season, armed robberies generally do tick up a little bit. So I wouldn't say it's anything out of the ordinary. Now, 4 armed robberies in 30 minutes is something that's definitely out of the ordinary. That's why you had the aggressive response that the police department had, which led to this apprehension.
Do you feel like there may be further arrests related to this?
Well, I think we have everybody involved. Now, they will be charged in other cases. I'm hopeful of that.
Is this any kind of new strategy for criminals to be moving quickly and trying to get a lot of victims at once in a short period by moving around in a car? Or?
Not really. I mean, this is something that, we've talked about that before where, in the past, we've had a lot of robberies a lot of armed robberies that pulled serial armed robberies. Uptown, we haven't experienced that much, but going over, like a 10-year period, it has been something that has occurred, and it's, in one way, it helps us because it allows us to quickly capture these individuals. That's what happened today. That's what happened yesterday. They pulled these 4 armed robberies in a short period of time and allowed us to concentrate our resources and capture them.
Yep.
Great. Thank you very much.
Do we have pictures of